waiting for questions to come in, I'd like to talk a little bit about the sex therapy issues that we see here at Center for Healthy Sex. So we work with male and female clients as well as couples who are struggling with any sort of sexual functioning issues. And a lot of people will call these sexual dysfunctions, but coming from a place of empowerment and also from a sex positivity viewpoint, we like to say that it's a sexual function issue or a sexual difficulty, simply because the idea of a dysfunction feels like it carries a weight of negativity to it. And so simply changing the language around these issues can start to loosen up the idea of somebody experiencing these issues, rather than feeling stigmatized by being somebody with a dysfunction, and really just talking about it as a challenge that can be overcome. We believe and we see that our clients are much more embraced by this idea, are much more supported, and can then get to a level of functioning that they're happy with. Being able to support them in this way allows for new spaces in the room to talk about sex and sexuality, because it's not a shameful experience. Our sexual desires, as long as they are consensual and as long as it's not imposing on anybody else, we believe that a lot of sexual behaviors are completely natural. And simply talking about sexual desires and comfort, or talking about sexual desires, can create more comfort around these sexual issues.
I like the idea I thought of it when you were talking about the pain diary, starting to talk about it perhaps as a comfort diary.
I like that a lot.
Yeah,
I like that a lot. Someone had suggested talking about, instead of pain diaries, comfort diaries. And I was actually working with a yogi and an acupuncturist, and she was talking about having a magical, instead of using a painful feeling that she has in her body physically, but rather talking about it as a magical experience that she's having in her body. So in the beginning of the yoga class, she talked about, okay, so let's all identify any place that we're experiencing any particular magic that we'd like to send our energy to today, and something to be aware of, that there's some magic going on in that area. And so people talked about, I'm experiencing some magic in my lower back, and I'm hoping to stretch it out in this certain way. So that you're right, changing the language even that way. I have a message here that says that somebody tends to avoid sexual contact with partners due to anxiety, and then partners will then back off as a result of feeling that. This person says that at the same time, I know that I want to try and have sex. So how do you balance when you are too anxious to have sex and when you should try to get beyond it in the moment to have sex? Because it feels like if I waited until I wanted to have sex, it might not ever happen. This is a constant struggle that people have when they have anxiety around sex and sexuality, for men and women alike. And it's really hard to figure out at what point how are you supposed to work with this? It's sort of like a chicken or egg situation or issue. And this is one of the experiences that would be really helpful to talk about with a therapist who's trained in practice in addressing the sexual avoidance or the sexual anxiety, because they can really specifically tailor to your experience of what you might be able to do to help calm the anxiety, either in the moment or over a daily practice of stress reduction or anxiety reduction, and then start to manage or tailor what it is that you are experiencing, and see what the effects are of the stress reduction, whether it's in the moment or over a practice of time. So I hope that answers that question, and if you need further help or support with that, please feel free to call Center for Healthy Sex